Automation. So let's talk about automation now, and the reason why we're going to do this right here is because the keys that we have, this road sound, I actually want to change some of the parameters real time over the length of the loop that we have going. And I want it to happen the same every time, so I'm not just going to move a knob. I actually want to write this into a track someplace so that it happens every time. Now, in order to automate, what we need to do is right click on any of the parameters that can be automatable. And in fact, that's one of the ways to find out if it can be automated is if you right click and it says create automation clip. So I'm going to do that. What this does is create a clip here in the channels, which you can either see in the all, or you can say automation clips. And then we can also come to the other view of the playlist, and this is now written here as well. We can zoom in on this a little bit. And what we want to do now, make this a little bigger as well, taller, we can actually automate or have that parameter change exactly the same every time depending on what we draw here. So this is at 0 right now, and we're going to go into automation clips focus, which is this middle button right here. This one's audio clips and this one is pattern clips, but this one is automation clips. So we want to click on that. We have two options here, step or slide. Now the slide allows us to move automation points horizontally and have everything afterwards adjust accordingly. And step allows us to write it in, and this follows the actual grid we have. So for instance, if we have this set to bar and step is selected, we can draw in, and it's only going to add points at the bar with the ability to move and change the slope of it with this middle point here. So if we had this set to, say, quarter steps, that's going to definitely change the resolution we can do with this, and we can draw in any kind of intricate pattern we want, including a nice slope up and slope down, and you can see that it goes past the end if we let it. What we want to do though is something more akin to the bar, because what I want to have happen is to have it go up and then back down. We can actually fine tune this if we want, but this is a pretty good place to start. So let's push play and listen to what this sounds like now. So the road sound intensifies because the overdrive is being turned up and then it's slowly turned back down. We can do this with any number of different parameters, so that makes it a really powerful way to adjust the sound real time and do so in a very repeatable manner. In other words, it's written into a track and we can adjust it manually, etc. So let's close this for a second and let's look back at our original sound here. And let's play this one more time. You can see the overdrive knob actually animated to reflect the changes we made. So we have a whole bunch of choices there. We can also change the tuning if we wanted to. We could also change the treble or stretching or the panning, etc. Now this doesn't just apply for parameters such as this. We can also automate things, for instance, on the mixer itself. So I'm going to right click on the volume for this particular track, create another clip, and let's go back into the playlist view for a moment. And you can see we have it here, the volume for the Rhodes and the mixer. And it starts there. We could also have it build in if we wanted to, and then be nice and loud as it goes out. And that doesn't really make sense musically at this point, but it's definitely demonstrating the power. Let's actually try to accomplish something that's a little bit more musical. And so let's do quarter notes. And what we can do is actually, because this is going to be playing a held out note over every 2 sections here, we could have it do something more akin to this so that we accent a little bit of the beginning notes and have it come down for the rest. Let's just test this out. Okay, much better. So now that gives us the ability to accentuate certain parts of the phrase, etc., all using automation. And we can do as fine-tuned drawing as we want. You can see when I go off of there how nice that line looks considering what it is, and how it sounds really accentuates that part, keeping out of the way for the rest of it. Okay, so that's the demonstration of automation. Let's move on to the next section.